Hey everybody, in this episode of the Veep After Show, we're breaking down Season 6, Episode 9, A Woman First, and we're doing that with actress and superfan Diora Baird. Let's do it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Look at that.
I get it now.
There you go, that patriotic music playing us in right here to the Veep After Show. Welcome everybody. We're breaking down every episode of Veep, airing Sunday nights on HBO. One of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. And at the far end, we'll introduce our other regular on the panel before we introduce our special guest.
Hey guys, I'm Mina. You can find me on Instagram at Mina Makes Magic.
And, we have ourselves not only a superfan, but an actress. You've seen her there in Wedding Crashers, Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. She's been on Shameless, Psych, which, how can you go wrong with Psych? One of my favorite shows. Yes. But she also happens to love Veep as well. So look at that. If we're going to be talking about Veep, why not have somebody that's just as passionate as we are to talk about it with us? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Diora Baird.
That was the best introduction I've ever been given.
Ever? Oh my gosh. Wow. Boy, thank you.
Sorry, Jimmy Kimmel.
Suck it. Get out of here.
That was obnoxious, but yeah, I'm so excited to be here. This is a fascinating world to live in.
So what about Veep appeals to you? What made, when you first started watching, you said, like, this is a show that I want to stick with?
Anything that has Elaine in, I will watch. And for those of you that don't know who Elaine is,
Seinfeld.
kill yourself. No. No, don't. But you should watch Seinfeld immediately. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is she's phenomenal. This is, I think, some of her best work I've ever seen. I could watch her eat cereal. I actually feel like this show has taught me a lot. I could probably work in the White House now.
Would you want to?
At this stage in my career, sure.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Why not?
Why not work in
that's going to pay the bills.
All right.
Okay.
What would you do? What would your ideal position be?
I would only want to work in the White House if Julia Louis-Dreyfus was actually the president. So that would be challenging. That would be a little challenging.
Well, certainly the show's taking a little different tack this season, where she was the vice president, then the president for a little bit. Now she's left office. She's basically just seeing what life after presidency is like.
Yes.
Do you like the way that the show's gone in this direction, kind of following what a president does after they've left office?
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. I think I'm choosing to believe it's a complete accurate depiction of what it's like, because every president writes a book. We're waiting, Obama, I think it's awesome.
Well, speaking of books, that's basically what the crux of this episode is about, is that basically Selina has been trying all season to write the book, and Mike's had a diary cataloging all the various misadventures they've gotten up to along the way.
Who writes in a diary anymore? Wouldn't it be in a computer?
Have either
Like
of you
a Facebook
ever used a
status?
diary at all?
When I was in second grade.
Yeah, I had one with a little lock in it. What is that really gonna do?
Easily break into it.
Yeah, you could just open it. I think I love the array of cast that they bring on. I feel like every character, whether it's the guy serving coffee or everybody is somebody that you go, oh, I know I've seen that person. They're just really, really amazing actors and actresses on this show, it's a huge cast too.
Yeah, and I mean, just
huge.
the bench is deep in terms of just comedic talent on all of this.
It's amazing. The guy that plays Gary, Tony Hill.
Yeah.
Love him. Love him.
So, of course, Selina's excited that her book's out, but at the same time, Mike has stupidly left his diary on Leon West's desk over at the Washington Post. And Leon has started taking that, reading it, and started posting some unfiltered excerpts of their time in an office for the Meyer presidency, which is not as flattering as the book is.
No, and he doodled.
He doodled some legs that don't look like legs, look more like arms.
Yes.
That's so I mean, I guess that's a terrible thing when you have somebody near you that is basically just cataloging and documenting everything that's ever happened, and then they lose that important piece of information. Would you want somebody around you documenting everything that you've done in your lives?
She was just talking about the Truman Show earlier.
Yes.
So.
I was. I feel like walking in this room was like, okay, so we're inside the Truman Show now. Well, I can answer that question with a no. I definitely would not. I had a little taste of that. I've been working on this documentary. I'm gonna put that in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Plug that.
There you go.
Lisa Diamond, she wrote this book ages ago called Sexual Fluidity, and it talks about what that means and what labels mean for women and yada, yada, yada. And so I was followed around for a bit, and it was the weirdest experience. It was really bizarre because, you know, I'm just like at home doing laundry and, you know, chasing my kid around, and I was like, this isn't. Can I put a little makeup on? I'm not quite. No. It made me have a lot more respect for the Kardashians.
Right.
So, I don't know how they do it.
Certainly, it's different for somebody who's acted in TV shows and films to also now just having more of just a camera that's just kind of hovering around you, not really working on getting a scene, but just kind of just documenting your life just as it unfolds.
No, I'm really good at pretending to be. I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at pretending to be other people. Being myself, no, not so much. I'm still working on that one. So work in progress.
Well, now I know you have a son, 4 years old. Yes,
I do.
So now we also have Selina's relationship with her daughter, Catherine.
Love it.
You love it, but that is a relationship that you love better on a TV show. You would never want to have that's a relationship with a child in real life.
She's a terrible mother.
Yeah,
she's awful. She's a really awful. But I love it. I love the dynamic. I love where they brought the character of the daughter. You know, that she's now having a baby.
Yes, and she has an incompetent pelvis, so she's on bed rest.
Yes, she's in the season finale. I bet the baby's gonna come. That's my
that a very good good prediction. Yes. Also drinking uterine tea.
Didn't know that was a thing.
I did not know. I
had no idea.
No. So
no idea.
At least from Selina's reaction, not a very delicious sort of blend.
Well, are you drinking part of a uterus?
Yeah, I don't know if it was like ground up uterus in a tea or a tea that's supposed to help your uterus. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. She's always on a weird diet though because of her partner. Yeah, vegan.
The vegan thing, which I can relate to. I am too a vegan.
Really?
I know. Shocking.
How long have you been a vegan?
It's been like a year and a half now. I mean, I grew up off and on vegetarian, but I decided to just cut it all out.
How hard was it?
It wasn't. I'll show you a few documentaries. And it's not as hard as you think. I mean, I do miss some things about life, like cheese. But then, you know, you can't. Once you know certain things and you connect the dots, it's really hard to.
Because you always imagine the animal or the meat industry or the way they treat animals.
The way it. There's so many things that it affects. It's not just. I mean, I love animals. It's not really just about that, though. It's about what it's doing to our planet. Really, a way to bring it down. I was telling my son who eats meat, and he's very proud of this fact. He's like, I ate steak last night. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, one day, I'm gonna tell you about the meat industry. One day, Mama's gonna show you a movie.
Oh, and then the laughter ends.
And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Well, could you relate to Catherine? Certainly, in last episode, she had this enormous craving for ribs. So during your pregnancy, did you find yourself having those cravings for things that you were like, as somebody that's kind of dabbled on and off with vegetarianism, just like, all of a sudden, I'm just craving this?
No, I know I ate a lot of bacon. I know I did at that time. But the next time around, I will not be eating bacon.
You passed that appetite along to your son then, right?
Maybe that's what it is.
So he's like a carnivore.
That's right. There you go. Yep. You should have ate all that bacon, and now look at that. Your son just took that part. Got that meat gene from you.
Yeah.
So we do see though now Jonah also looking for somebody that's looking to perhaps marry, have a child. Right there. He's basically not doing so well after he did that whole
circumcision.
Yeah. He did a work stoppage. It was not well received by either his fellow members in the House, nor by the president. And so now, as punishment, he's given this really terrible office with a really short ceiling.
It's pretty funny.
I love that scene. Just how many times that he was bonking his head on that ceiling was phenomenal.
That guy is really good at physical comedy. Though I do wonder sometimes when watching, I'm like, do you think it'd be as funny if he was not as tall?
Probably
Like,
not. I
is
mean,
that part of his, shtick?
I think so. I just like the way
Yeah.
that he looks. Just his height. Just
He just looks funny.
yeah,
You're
exactly.
like awkward, lanky.
Yeah.
It adds to it for sure.
He
I
has
would-
that going for him.
I want to know how many takes they did in that scene at the office with him cracking his head on the.
Oh
the ceiling.
God, I would love to see like the blooper reel for that show.
Yeah.
Just with the amount of, I'm just so curious to know if any of it's improvised, because they're just shooting rapid fire. The dialogue, there isn't like a moment in between. It's one thing after another, and I do sometimes wonder. I'm like, I bet she improvised that, but none of it's probably improvised. It's probably all written, and they're really talented writers, so they know what they're doing. But they do it in such a way that I'm like, oh, they just came up with that on the spot.
Yeah.
You feel like you're engrossed in the conversation.
Yeah,
It's
completely.
almost like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but that is improvised.
Right,
but
yeah.
with Curb, so
Yeah,
it kind of
yeah.
feels like that.
So on a film like Wedding Crashers that you worked on, certainly Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, especially Vince Vaughn, somebody that likes to improvise and goof
Yeah.
around a lot. So on a set like that, what was the improv to like stick to the script kind of ratio?
There was almost no script. It was largely improvised. I mean, when you were asking me earlier what it was like auditioning for that, I mean, there were many auditions for that little role that I played, and a lot of it had to do with improvising. Even though none of that was used in the film. It's just the way it goes. But you're watching Vince Vaughn, him, specifically him, was insane. He literally says something completely different each take. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth. It was terrifying. Slightly terrifying.
Are auditions fun like that when they it's largely improv based, or would you rather have sides to be able to work off of?
Both. I like being able to improvise. Sometimes it offends people. They're like, will you just please stick to the script? But a lot of the jobs, My Best Friend's Girl, a film I did with Kate Hudson and Dane Cook, a lot of that was being able to improvise because I was working with Dane. Star Trek, believe it or not, that there was a lot of like different auditions, and I'd say one word in the film. No is the word, of which I got cut out of the theatrical release. I'm just gonna keep going.
Oh, no.
With
So
this.
for auditions where your on camera line is one word, what are the auditions like for a one word?
I remember my first audition. I mean, I think it's been so long, I can probably talk about it, but it was like a scene from, I think, Alias or something, and it was like an underwater, trying to fight for your life type of thing. Had nothing to do with Star Trek.
So each time you came back for another audition, it'd be just another
It'd be
script from like a J.J. Abrams project?
Exactly.
Wow.
There you go.
And then when you finally got the part, here's your line, it's no.
Well, I didn't actually know anything until I got to set, because everything was super, super, like, secretive, and I had, lots of makeup tests and hair tests and fittings, and then I get to set and looked at my page, and I was like, where's my... That's it. Okay. All right.
What's the weirdest thing you've had to do to prepare for something?
The weirdest thing I've had to do to prepare?
Like something that might have been out of your comfort zone or just like a little bizarre.
I mean, acting in general has never been in my comfort zone, but gosh, I'm trying to think of something. I did have to wear a prosthetic piece once, which was not fun, over my entire face and like the contacts and this, and it by the end, the 6 hour, it was this film called Night of the Demons, and by the end of that, I wondered why I didn't go to college. I really did. I was like, you know what? I should have. But it's hard. I mean, I would imagine doing something where you have to be in prosthetic stuff. It's intense. I would not wish that upon anyone. But, if there's a job, I'm willing.
That's right. Well, I guess the double-edged sword to that is certainly the application and the removal process can be time-consuming. But
Yeah.
so many actors kind of like it helps them really get into the character. They can just hide behind all that stuff and just let them get right into it.
No, just, get a double.
That's-
I'm fine with that. You can't even tell it's me. I did, the removal. I've worked with a lot of blood, like fake blood. And in this other film, Dark Days, 30 Days of Night, Dark Days, where I play a vampire hunter, naturally.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, you know, spoiler alert, they get me. It's very gory, it's very bloody, but I was covered. I had to lay in like a pool of blood for many hours, and when they brought me back to the trailer to take off the makeup, they use a like chemical thing, and I had a bad reaction to that, so I lived in blood for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It was good. Good times.
Is it fun though shooting those scenes, like your death scene in a horror film? Or is it just like kind of very mechanical? As they say, like with like love-making scenes, it's just like there's nothing passionate or sexy about it. Because
I would take a death scene over a lovemaking scene any day. Any day.
You're so awkward.
Yeah, it's the worst. But no, I think it's kind of fun. The hard thing is playing dead. That was, I think it was Law and Order I did. As for you, I did an episode, and I feel like that my body was in the morgue after a while, and I'm in the background. So the scene went on for many minutes, and they were like, Diora, we can see that you're breathing. That was the hardest. I was like, this is the hardest acting I've ever done. Acting dead, it's really hard.
So, because I always wonder, like, for those long takes where you're supposed to be just a dead body in the morgue,
Yeah.
and the camera's just sitting there, even if you're not really the focus of the shot, but you're still in it.
You have to shallow breathe.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, it just immediately makes me want to hyperventilate. So, not very shallow.
It also makes me want to, like, just change the angle of the camera, guys.
yeah.
Like, just frame me out. It's fine.
Yeah, put a sheet over my head. It's not even me.
Well, I was wondering for those shows, like, how far you have to go before it's like you actually laying on the slab, or like they've actually made a prosthetic, you know, just like a body double.
Every single time I've laid dead somewhere or passed out, which has been many times, it's always me. And I ask that every single time. Why me?
I mean,
Why me? Because that's what they're paying you for.
no, that's true.
No.
All right, there you
Yeah.
So somebody else also suffering some uncomfortability in their television career is Dan on the show. CBS this morning, he was a rising star. They got rid of Jane, and now just a week later, all of a sudden, we saw the crack starting to happen when Jane got the interview with Jonah, even though that really didn't go anywhere. But it was enough of a crack for Dan now to be shown the door on CBS this morning.
I knew Dan eventually wouldn't be on the show. I was like hoping that he wouldn't be on the show just so that we could see him somehow re-enter the political sphere again with Selina. But he still is looking for another media gig. But I want him to be on like Team Selina because I think it would make the dynamic like really interesting again.
Yeah, I was disappointed that because I knew he was never going to have that gig for very long, but his crash and burn happened so fast.
Yeah.
I thought we'd be seeing it kind of just lead up to it, but it just went from one episode to the next. Nope, you're already gone.
And I thought we'd at least see him cover a story about Selina, so I was surprised that Jane McCabe did it because that was what I had predicted. Like, he's gonna have to do a story about her. He knows the behind the scenes info, so I thought it would be really interesting, but I'm surprised they kind of pulled him out before the Selina story.
Yeah, and we do see, well, it seems like he's not going to get a media gig because he was in the taxi, and so his new gig was just doing the infomercial info news on the back of a taxi. So that's no fun.
Digital,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be hopping in with Ben and Kent and starting some kind of consulting gig. So that'd be cool to see what happens there.
Broken dreams.
Well, let's give it up for Kent in that sweet basketball outfit that he had on.
Gary Cole.
Yes. He is so good.
He's so subtle.
Yes.
He's so dry. It's so amazing. I love it.
And he rocked those short shorts. He really went in all in for that.
Those were short.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we end the episode there with Catherine or Selina back on the Tonight Show. Catherine has some medical problems. She's bleeding, even though Selena's used this a couple times to get out of the Tonight Show because she doesn't want to have to be talking about the scandals.
She does that a lot. She throws her daughter under the bus.
Oh yes,
all the time.
She says, you know what, I'm not going to go this time because everything's turning her way now that they found out about Tibet. There's everybody loves Selena now because we know about Tibet and what she did. But as she goes on, she sends Richard to go to take care of Catherine, and she ends the show listening to young children read reviews of her book. And they're not very good reviews.
No.
Celebrities read mean tweets on
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. He has a segment like that. It's really funny. So the celebrity reads the same mean tweet about themselves.
That's a good way to take back the power a
Yeah.
little bit.
That's true.
It's funny.
You know?
So before we do some predictions here, as we're talking about horror films earlier with you, you're also working on a horror film currently, right?
Yes, I'm developing, producing, and acting in a film. It's a thriller, more of a thriller, psychological thriller than horror, but it's in that genre called They Watch. And Peter Dukes is directing it, and Aaron Cox is producing it along with me. And I think it'll be really cool to be able to work behind the scenes and have power. So, no, I get to play a mother, and there's some paranormal activity, which when reading the script, could not finish because I get really spooked really quick.
Interesting. For somebody that's been in many horror films.
No, I know. I can't watch them.
Really? You'll
can't.
act in them?
Yeah.
Even reading the scripts for the other films you've been in, like Texas Chainsaw at the beginning?
I a lot of the time skip over the parts that doesn't have to do with me. Oops.
But what about like the scenes if you have a death scene in a film?
Yeah.
So do you realize like, I'll just work it out when I get to set. Well, I'll let them tell me what I need to do.
No, I mean, I read the stuff that has to do with me. It terrifies me, and while doing it, I am also terrified. So
it lends itself very well.
That may be why I get cast.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she hates this shit. So, ooh.
That's fine. Absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yes.
This is the YouTube.
That's right.
This is the YouTube.
That YouTube. Yep. That is this.
This is the YouTube. God. Really aging myself. But yeah, the horror world has been very, very kind to me. I'm also, such a fan of Veep and females who put things together and get it done. And I'm working on something with my girlfriend Mav right now, which I'm really excited about, that is going to be kind of along those lines. So.
Oh, nice.
Film
or television?
A show.
Oh, excellent.
I know. So we're creating it, writing it, producing it, and I just want like women. I want women to be helping create. I've worked with mostly men, in this world.
Yes.
God, gross. No, but really, yeah. So that's gonna be the next.
So what's it been like getting on the production side of it, being behind the scenes? Is it everything you thought it was going to be? Has it been more challenging?
Well, so far we're still in the early stages, and we haven't gotten in. I'm sure when it comes times to being like on set and having to switch hats, that'll be challenging. Maybe, I don't know. I've been told I'm good at being bossy, so.
Oh,
I don't know.
It comes in handy as a producer.
See.
Absolutely.
We'll see. And I get to work with my best friend and my partner, which is kind of amazing. So.
Oh, look at that.
And, craft service, free lunch.
Oh, yes.
That's a bonus.
What is a mandatory on a craft service table for you?
Oh, God, the pressure. The pressure is on.
It's like
it's all vegan, too.
That's
well, now it's, you guys have popcorn. I love some popcorn.
Okay. All right.
I'm very, very much into the popcorn.
If they do like a vegan donut, are you down with that?
It depends where it's from.
Okay.
The Donut Farm is really good. They have an amazing vegan
Oh,
place.
it's an actual place. I thought you meant that there's a farm where they
that's
grow
what it's called.
donuts.
No, I love it. The Donut Farm. That sounds like an intriguing
really
place
good.
to me.
It's over in like Silver Lake, where all those hipsters
Oh,
are.
nice.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah.
they're all vegan.
And they have this little field in the back, and you go out and you pick it yourself. There you go. That's just,
I can totally imagine that too. That would make a lot more sense.
there you go. From our field to your plate, right there, the Donut Farm.
Yep.
That'd be so exciting. If not, let's go into that business together, guys. If anything, we're going to build our own donut farm. and we're gonna
Organic
make this-
donuts.
Oh, but vegan only. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Diora, if they want to follow everything you're doing, besides being, if they want to just tweet you and say, "My gosh, thanks for being a cool super fan of Veep," or they just want to know about the projects that you have coming up, where's the best place to find you on the World Wide Web?
Well, I'm probably going to come here now.
All
now
right,
that I
look
know
at that.
where this facility is located, I will just be coming by
Perfect. Love it.
for the free popcorn. But I'm on Twitter at Diora Baird and Instagram at Diora Baird. Both my names. And that shouldn't be hard to remember. But it is.
And as we always do right here, we'd like to do little predictions about what we're going to think is happening in the next episode.
Okay.
So, do you have a prediction about what you think is going to happen?
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Pretty cool, huh? Got our own little Little jingle for that.
This is my favorite thing ever.
There you go.
I feel like I'm on a ride.
Do you have a prediction for what you think may happen in the season finale?
The baby's coming.
Okay.
For sure. Gosh. Something bad. I feel like something bad's gonna come out of this book.
Even worse than like a toxic baby dump, as I think Amy mentioned it too.
Yeah, that something along those lines. They're gonna leave us with something, some mess that they gotta clean up, and maybe he's what's his face?
Dan.
Yeah, will come back running with his tail between his legs. I don't know.
It never seems to end on. It seems that on a funny note to us, but for the characters themselves, it never ends on a good note.
No, it's actually awful, and you feel bad laughing, but you laugh.
True.
Because it's funny.
Yeah, and it's not you, so it's always good.
It's not you.
Mina, how about yourself?
I said this last time, but I want to see Selina's softer side when the baby does come. But I almost feel like she's gonna have a slip up with the baby. You know how presidents always like want to pose with babies and get that photo off? I feel like she's gonna hold the baby, drop it. Something weird's gonna happen, and it's gonna be really bad PR for her.
Oh.
So I sense something like that.
Oh, no, don't drop the baby.
Do not drop the baby. Well, you got Richard Splatt around, so I think it's going to be all right.
Don't drop the baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Veep After Show. Dior, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. This is so cool. I love the microphones
Oh, thank you.
and everything.
Oh, look at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. We'll be back next week to discuss the season finale. But as always, folks, you can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course, give it a thumbs up if you're there looking at it. And if you want to comment and continue the conversation with us even after the show's over, Mina, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Mina Makes Magic.
And Dior, they can find you at Diora Baird.
At Diora Baird.
Look at that. On all forms of social media.
What?
Yeah.
All forms of social media, yeah.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook.
I'm
Right?
really bad at
Social media.
picking up on cues. Oh yeah, and I'm also working on an awesome photography book with Stephanie Bovis, who I've worked with for years and years and years. So that'll be coming up soon, and we have a sneak peek of that coming out soon too.
Awesome. So make sure you follow Diora so you can find out where all this cool stuff, whether it's going to be her films or TV shows that she's working on, or this photography book. Make sure you follow her to keep up to date on all of that. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. And folks, we'll see you back here next week for the season finale of Veep, right here on AfterBuzz TV.
Awesome.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.